Stay with me. So there is a separation. God is actually separating Zion from Sinai. Now, I'm talking about covenants now. The covenant that God has with Zion is different from the covenant that God had with Sinai. Now, the religious institution, the religious organization that we now call the church, they are operating under the mandate of Sinai. That's why you have a set man that knows everything that God is saying and is talking to a congregation. He still has that ecclesiastical format, that format that Moses had. But that is not the format in Zion. The format in Zion is a family format. That means the way you have connection to your children, you have the same connection that you have with Nathaniel, you have it with everyone, even though God brings any other child into this house that is adopted, it's the same connection you will have with that child, and you talk to that child directly. So the format of the Zion church, everybody comes to the table with revelation. 1 Corinthians 14, you study, it says, when you gather in one place, he with a psalm should come, he with a song should come, he with a revelation should come, he with an interpretation should come. He said all things should be done for the edification of the church. Now, we have entered that dimension of church where people are hearing from God. The people that are hearing the voice of God, that are knowing the voice of God by themselves, are gathering together to be the solutions to the problems of the world. The solution of the separation of Zion from Sinai will lead to many things. It will lead to one very important thing that we must embrace, because it's part of the experience that Christ gave us in the gospel. It's called persecution. We are going to receive persecution from the government, because this Zion breed, they are preaching a government. They are not preaching a religion. They are preaching the government of Jesus Christ, especially when the political environment of the societal environment is dysfunctional. Look at Benue, Funali herdsmen, reprisal attack after about 14 days. Does it show sign that there is a government in the land? This is the good working ground for the Zion church to come out with revelation from the realms of the spirit. The government plan that will bring lasting peace on the world. Now, this Zion church will be doing things that the Sinai church has never done. Sinai church has been in business for 40 years, some 60 years. They have never even broken into the government plan that the Bible, the Holy Bible, is talking about. Now the Zion church comes without any pedigree, just because they have their ears in the realms of the spirit, they have their eyes in the. You see, this year is the time to man the gates of your eyes, the gates of your ears. You must be able to know. Man the gates. You are entering a new territory, you must man the gate, because the devil is fighting against the ability of the church to see. The God of this world has blinded the eyes of many. He doesn't want them to see the glorious light in the gospel. But this will end because the sorting is happening. And the sorting will have a larger impact in the outer world, because the Zion church will live to the full potential of her name as the light of the world. Now people are saying, let's pray for Nigeria. We're not talking about praying for Nigeria now. We're talking about the church coming into her place of righteousness, so that they'll be hearing the things from the realms of the spirit that will bring solution to the world that is made up of nations. So the solution to the problems of Nigeria is the church, but the church has to effect that migration into Zion. We are going into Zion before rapture. The path of the righteous shine from glory to glory unto the perfect day. We are entering the glory dimension that the church started with. We are entering it again now. It's a shift that if you are not sensitive in the realms of the spirit, you will miss out on. Now, this shift, this separation, it will come with attack from the government of the day. It will come with attack from the world. The world. When I mean the world, I'm talking about the system that governs this flesh-driven mystery Babylon setting that we have come to adopt, we have adopted as part of what we say God has blessed us with. Hello. The God of the world has organized the conditioning of this world. And this world is meant to conform us. If we are not conformed because of our choice to be led by the Spirit, we will be persecuted. Persecution is coming from the world. They look at us with disdain. Especially when the entity that calls itself church has embraced a position or a posture of ridicule. When we come out with solution, people will laugh at us. They'll say, oh, when the ridicule has not come out with this revelation, what are you saying? What are you talking about? They will look at us with disdain. And by so doing, they will reject the gospel that we are preaching. The gospel is the only hope for good government on the earth. And that's the message that the Zion Church is preaching. The third category of persecution will come from the entity that calls itself the church that the world has colonized. The world today has set up a church. The entity, that's the CAC organized institution. In many parts of the world, it says Christian Association of Nigeria. Trash, that's not the church. But these people will bring persecution on the church. Now, when the year started, and the January one started with Fulani headmen killing people, the Holy Spirit reminded me. Remember, I told you this in October. He told me since October that 2018 will be seriously a year of persecution. And we must understand what it means, for what persecution does to the church. Persecution matures the church. The time of persecution is the time of maturing of the church. Because instead of you to fight for your rights, you are blessing them, you are praying for them. Hey, my God. You remember Jesus? He said, bless those that persecute you. He said, pray for those that despitefully use you. There's a ministry of persecution in the church. That's why Jesus talks about the fellowship of his sufferings. These are the things we must understand. We must understand the unity of the faith. Because this was why the gifts were given to the church, to unite the body, so that the body can be one Jesus expressed on many dimensions in the world as the desire of the nations, as the person that will rule over the nations with an iron rod. That's where we are going into now. Persecution will help us understand the unity of the faith. It will help us understand what it means to be made conformable unto the death of Christ. Persecution will help us know the enemy, that the enemy is not really the Anglican. The enemy is not really the white garment man. The enemy is not the Muslim. The enemy is the devil. And when all of us realize that, man, it's the devil that is trying to take us out of this world, he wants to conform us to the system of this world, we will run closer to our God. And when we run closer to our God, his presence will rub off on us.